The new villain with overpower has awakened. Inside the body of Kaiju Number 9, it turns out to hold a great power. It's Kaiju Era Meireki, a giant kaiju that once brought super disasters in the Edo period. So after Kaiju Number 9's core organs were destroyed, the Kaiju Meireki inside went on a rampage as if it had broken free from its seal. In the previous chapter, he was also ready to come out and create chaos again. Oh yeah. Welcome to Chapter 114, Kaiju Number 8. Since I don't have any ideas for the Boruto manga, let's discuss the Kaiju Number 8 manga, which is going into the climax. But before that, please like and subs. Thanks. The chapter begins with a flashback of Kaiju Number 9's encounter with Kaiju Meireki. So when he was born, Kaiju Number 9 initially thought that he was just a weak kaiju who happened to be endowed with intelligence. And because of that, he only ate animals and stayed away from human settlements. Until one day, he met a hunter and managed to kill him. And from that moment on, Kaiju Number 9 realized that he was stronger than ordinary humans. And from then on, he was filled with curiosity and desire to satisfy his intelligence. He wanted to test how strong he was and what he could achieve. He even became interested in humans and wanted to know their secrets. So the desire to research humans does come from the instincts of Kaiju Number 9, but it was as if someone was leading him into a cave. Number 9 also met a terrible creature, and it was a giant kaiju with the form of a combination of many kaiju. He is Kaiju of the Meireki era. That's a brief flashback of Number 9's encounter with Kaiju Meireki, a flashback that begins Number 9's journey in his mission to create a kaiju world. So we return to the battlefield. After Number 9's core organs were destroyed, the kaiju creations that were carrying out mass attacks suddenly stopped. And upon seeing this scene, Iharu and Rino were shocked. But both of them came to the same conclusion. This means that Kafka has succeeded in killing Kaiju Number 9. Their guess is correct. But on another battlefield, Kafka's life is also on the edge of death. Because after being brought into Kaiju Number 9's subconscious and seeing Kaiju Meireki awakened, Kafka was immediately attacked by him. No half-heartedly, Kaiju Number 8's core organs were also damaged. Mina was shocked and called Kafka's name, while the operator detected the damage to Number 8's core, as well as the emergence of a new creature from within the body of Kaiju Number 9. And just like Number 9, the scale of this new kaiju's power could not be measured by their detectors, meaning that the power level of Meireki's kaiju seemed to be far above normal limits. Detecting the emergence of a new kaiju, the higher-ups became extremely panicked, while Kaiju Number 8 immediately reacts even though his core organs have been damaged. By continuing to say the word kill, he tries to send his counterattack. But this is where we are shown just how terrifying Meireki's kaiju is. From behind Number 9's face, Kaiju Meireki's face appears, filled with eyeballs. That's when a mark suddenly appeared around Kafka's shoulder, and as soon as Kaiju Meireki's eyes blinked, an attack appeared and targeted Kafka's shoulder. It was a powerful slash that cut off Kafka's left arm from the shoulder. And not only that, a follow-up attack was immediately unleashed by this new kaiju. This time, with a similar attack, he targeted Number 8's chest, and as soon as he blinked, a slash hit Number 8's core organs and tore them apart. As a result, Kafka was thrown to the ground. The operator also said that the life signal on Kaiju Number 8 was gone. Seeing this gripping scene, both officials and civilians are clearly getting scared. But under these circumstances, Mina didn't give up at all. She immediately told the operator to send new ammunition to a point near her. Mina planned to shoot the new kaiju before all her organs recovered. But before Mina could fire, Kaiju Meireki had already sent her slash. As a result, Mina's flagship cannon was immediately split in two, and Mina was knocked down and her body was thrown. At this point, Kaiju Meireki has finished recovering all its organs, but we can see the new form of kaiju, which seems to be still joined to the skin of Number 9. So, will this be the new form of Kaiju Meireki after being defeated in the Edo period? Or can this kaiju still be even stronger by getting out of that shell? What is certain is that the kaiju in this form is already very overpowered. Mina immediately remembered what Number 9 had said as soon as she saw her new enemy. Number 9 once told Mina that so far no one has ever been able to escape from his clutches, no matter how strong he is. It was at this moment that Mina probably realized that what Number 9 meant was the grip of this new kaiju. So, whoever confronts him will not be able to escape and will be absorbed no matter who they are and how strong they are. And sure enough, as soon as Mina painstakingly pointed her gun at the kaiju, a target mark appeared on its head. At the same time, Kaiju Meireki prepared to cut Mina's head in half. This is where the catastrophic kaiju disaster really begins. But before that really happens, chapter 114 has ended. It's a chapter that's arguably the most brutal. We're faced with a new and much stronger looking enemy. But before we get into anything else, there's a flashback from Kaiju Number 9 that gives us more insight into his relationship with the new villain, Kaiju Meireki. So at the beginning of the chapter, we see how Kaiju Number 9, who may still be at the beginning of his birth, has met humans. And judging from how the human was carrying a gun, this indicates that the incident took place in a modern era. In the same era, Number 9 also met Kaiju Meireki. Previously, we knew that Kaiju Meireki was defeated by soldiers in the Edo period. But the fact that he appeared in modern times indicates that his defeat does not mean he was killed. So chances are, Kaiju Meireki was only beaten back by the Edo period soldiers to weaken until he was forced to hide in a cave. After hundreds of years had passed since the Edo period, Meireki's kaiju was probably still recuperating when he finally met Number 9 in the cave. And when these two kaiju met, several possibilities happened. First, Kaiju Meireki absorbed Kaiju Number 9 and made it into a vessel. So if we look at the form of Kaiju Meireki, which consists of a combination of kaiju, I think that he is the one who actually has the power to absorb other creatures. Moreover, there are signs that the kaiju has also absorbed warriors from the Edo period and from even earlier times. So there's no way that Number 9, who was just born in modern times, could be the mastermind who ate the soldiers. Moreover, Number also said that he seemed to be a victim and couldn't escape the Kaiju Meireki's clutches. In this flashback, we're also told that Numbers was born blessed with intelligence, and perhaps it is this aspect that allows him to become a kaiju vessel and contain his rage from within. That's what was meant earlier by maintaining balance. So perhaps as the only intelligent kaiju that was absorbed, Number 9 was able to take over the Kaiju Meireki's mind and use its power. Since then, Kaiju Number 9 as we know it has been born with terrible intelligence and power. Finally, there is also the possibility that Kaiju Meireki and Kaiju Number 9 did some sort of deal or cooperation. So, because Kaiju Meireki was probably weak at the time, he needed additional strength or a new body to be able to get back up and rampage. And in return, Kaiju Meireki gave his power first to Kaiju Number 9. So, after Kaiju Number 9 was defeated, Kaiju Meireki got a new form to rampage. Well, the interesting part is, Meireki's kaiju power seems to be very terrible. In one blink of an eye, he can send a super powerful slash and split everything in front of him. So this new villain seems to be similar to Sukuna, and seeing how terrible this new villain is, we are obviously more curious about how the soldiers will defeat it. In addition, we will see the final transformation after Kafka is truly on the verge of death. Because in fact, in this chapter it was reported that the life signal had disappeared from Kaiju Number 8. This is natural, because his core organs were directly attacked, and normally Number 8 could have been declared dead. But we know that as the main character, there must be something that triggers his resurrection, and possibly Number 9's speech in the last chapter could be a clue. Previously, Number 9 had said that Kafka and Number were not fully connected on a deep level. That's why Kafka can't even read Number 8's memories and know what happened in the Edo period. So by connecting more deeply, it is possible that Kafka and Number 8 will get a power-up. In fact, we can also get further flashbacks about what happened in the Edo period. Because if we look at Number 8's reaction to Kaiju Meireki, he seems to have a huge hatred for that figure. In addition, other soldiers such as Renao, Narumi, Kikoru, and Hoshina may come, especially after the resurrection of the Meireki kaiju. The kaiju created by Number 9 has stopped moving. So the conclusion is, Japan's current threat seems to be only the Meireki era kaiju, and with all its more advanced technology, a major attack may be launched. So what do you think? Is Kafka really over, or will Kafka transform into his final form to defeat the Meireki kaiju? Likes and subs, I'm Nim. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye, Databayo.